Hi everybody, I hope you are having a great day, night, evening, whatever time that you're watching this video. I wanted to share some knowledge with you today on this video. You know I'm a huge avid coffee drinker, so the coffee that I'm drinking today is a local Houston brand. Their name, of course, is Fusion Beans. The one that I have today is called the Storyteller. You should really try them out if you love trying coffee and trying some new experiences as well too. I'll have their link below. Go ahead and click on it and order your favorite cup. They have a bunch to choose from, so go ahead and pick one that you think that you're gonna vibe with. On today's video, onto another note, we're gonna go over how to clean your paintbrushes. If you know me, and you know me well, I always 100% forget to clean my brushes. Yes, this is dried up acrylic paint on this brush and it's a new one. So I'm gonna be showing you guys today how to go ahead and clean your brushes, because I'm pretty sure over here in this section that I have a lot that are probably pretty crusty as well too. So I'm gonna show you the product that I use and how to fix this problem. So buckle up and get ready to watch this video with me. Or actually do it with me, whatever floats your boat. Let's go.
Okay, let's go ahead and discuss some brush anatomy before we get to how to clean the brushes. So starting here, this part of the brush is going to be called the bristles. Of course, I'm sure everybody knows that. Followed by the ferrule. This portion over here is going to be called the ferrule. So paint can actually get stuck in there too. I'll go over how to do it, but the next portion is going to be a crimp. And then we have the handle when it comes down to the brush. So the only reason I'm going down the anatomy is so you know exactly what I'm talking about when I get down to how we're gonna continue with cleaning the brushes. When you do begin to start painting, you load your brush, you add so much pigment, but a lot of paint gets stuck in this ferrule portion. You begin to paint and then slowly but surely it works its way up into the ferrule. So I'm going to show you how to properly clean it to prevent some of that paint and get that out. But before that, let me load up the brush with a little bit of paint. I'm just going to use my favorite blue, of course, that I use in everything. It is my absolute favorite. So you're painting, swish, swish, painting some more, painting. Okay, so your brush is fully loaded with whatever pigment, and blue is a hard color to actually clean from your brush. So you want to start with having your paper towel or linen or lint-free cloth, whatever you want to use. You're going to want to get that extra paint off of the brush first. So just pinch down on the bristles and pull lightly. Don't pull too hard, of course, because you'll probably, pull out the bristles, but you do want to pull. Then you're going to get some water in your jar. I use a jar, and just swish everything all around and try to get as much paint out of the brush. You might have to swirl it a few times as well too if it's like stubborn. Like you see in this video, there was still a little bit on the top portion. So just continue to just swirl it around until you can get as much pigment out of the brush, as you possibly can. So we're going to move that to the side. Then next, what we're going to do is go over this brush cleaning soap. I have two different types of soaps that I like to use, but really honestly it doesn't matter which type you use. You just want to make sure that you can actually get the pigments out of the brush. So this one is liquid, and that other one that I just showed you was more of like a block, which you can just put your brush on top of. I go ahead and put some of the soap in my palm of my hand, and I then continue to swirl, of course, the brush around and around and around, of course, in different directions, going to the left, going to the right, and trying to get as much of that leftover pigment out. Now, remember how I told you about the ferrule? So you're going to grip the brush this way and then start to slowly turn it. So what is happening right now is some of that soap is working its way up into the ferrule to get some of the pigments out and just loosen it up. I don't remember the whole story about this. It was someone that had came to my college when I was in California and actually taught us how to get some of that paint out of the ferrule. She did say something about like a Native American story, but I don't remember it, unfortunately. But moving on, we're just going to add the brush into some more water, clean water. As you can see, I have 2. And then you're going to proceed with just swirling that around again too. So I'm going to proceed to do a little test to see if we got like most of the pigment out of the brush. I did get most of the pigment out. What you're going to see with this blue is it's shining through from underneath my hand. So as you saw me wiping down the brush itself, it wasn't any more blue coming out. It's just stained on the bristles at this point. So I did get the pigment out. So I don't always do this. I really should. I'm a horrible person when it comes to cleaning my brushes, even though I know how to clean it properly. So I will go ahead and show you moving forward, if you didn't do this like you should, like I should, how you can get stubborn paint out. So yeah, I'm going to show you that moving on next. Next part of the segment, us going ahead and cleaning these crunchy old brushes. So as you can see, I have a lot of brushes that I actually keep with me that I use pretty readily. So you're gonna grab a brush, of course. This one, it's not so bad. Like if it's soft on the ends, you don't have to worry about cleaning it. It's okay. But this one, as you can see, it is extra super crunchy. If the sound was on, it would sound like somebody eating potato chips in the back of the church where you know you're not supposed to be eating them chips in the day of the Lord. But it is what it is, so we're gonna just put that to the left. So if it is soft, you know, just go ahead and put that to the right, and we're gonna just start segregating out the brushes. If it's bad, we're gonna put it to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left, like Beyonce once said. We're gonna put it to the left. If it's okay, it's smooth, like, I don't know, John B. Maxwell, if you are an R&B fan, we're gonna go ahead and put that to the right. I don't know if swiping right is good or not, but this is what we're gonna do. Left bad, right good. So some of them in this pile are really good. Some of them are kind of okay. Some are kind of absolutely not okay. So we'll go ahead and see what we can do and what we can restore with this brush restorer. I've used it, of course, as you can see, plenty of times. So we just gonna go ahead and pray for a miracle, because you know what? I hate paying for brushes. I'm not gonna lie. I 100% do not like paying for brushes because I have to replace them so often because I don't clean them the way I'm supposed to. So when you don't clean them the way you're supposed to clean your brushes, this is what happens. You're stuck with some crap brushes. But I can tell you some of these brushes, like this one right here, I have had that brush, I want to tell you, since college. And honey, that was a long time ago when I started. I started in 2009. So these brushes do stay for a long time as long as you keep them clean. As long as you do that, you're good to go. But if you're not, you're bad like me, you gotta like buy some new ones a lot. So this is our good pile. This is the bad pile. Let's go ahead and get the good pile out and start with these bad boys right here. Okay, so you're gonna grab your glass jar. Anyone will do. This is one I had from pasta sauce, so grab any one that you have that's preferably clean and not plastic. You're going to want to pick up one of these. It is a metal paint comb. I purchased this one from Home Depot, but I'm pretty sure you can order one if you don't want to pick it up. And then you're going to want to grab this brush cleaner and restorer. This one's from Winsor & Newton, but it is perfect for dried acrylic, oil colors, and it is biodegradable as well too. I have not used other brands. This is the one I have used, as you can see, multiple times. But I'm pretty sure if you want to try a different one, it will work as well. And the instructions I'm going to give you will work as well too with that cleaner. So you're going to grab your jar. Like I said, any glass jar, nothing plastic. And then you're going to want to open, of course, your solution and pour that into the jar. Now, I eyeballed how much I was going to pour into this jar, but do know when you pour it in, you're going to want to put just enough to not go over that top portion where I'm showing you in the video, over that ferrule. So just have it go a little bit above the bristles, a little on the metal is okay, but nothing even higher than that. Because if you go higher than that, you're going to probably eat away that glue next to the crimp that's holding in the handle, and it will make everything all gunky and most likely make your brush fall apart too, because even though this material does have a low odor, it is very, very strong, especially with us letting this sit overnight, because you saw how bad the paint was in the bristles. We're going to have this sit overnight instead of for a few seconds. Now with it, you can have it sit for like a few minutes if your brushes aren't that bad, but I will definitely need the full 24 hours. So I'm going to leave it overnight. But of course for you, it will only look like maybe 1.2 seconds, even though I'm going to have to wait the full 24 hours to continue on with the video.
Hey, what are you doing? I got the brushes. It's been 24 hours. Wake up. Come on. Let's start the video.
Okay, so it's been 24 hours. For this process, you're going to want to get some gloves, your metal comb, some paint soap, and some clean water, and preferably a bucket for it if you're going to be doing this in your studio. So the gloves aren't 100% necessary, but if you don't like making mess and you don't like things on your hands, I highly suggest getting some. In this next portion, you want to get like a paper towel, lint-free cloth, anything to just catch that solution, liquid, and water that we'll be using today. But you know, if you are doing all this over the sink, you don't really have to worry about it. But I'm going to be doing it in my studio so I can show you guys my process. So this is the brush we're going to start with. Look at all that paint that's stuck in that ferrule area. So that solution really did work. If you were touching it, you will notice it's really gummy. So begin to use the comb, put it closer to the ferrule. I tend to like push it in there and like wiggle a little bit left to right just to get some of that dried paint out of the ferrule if it's any in there. It's probably, you know, I don't know if a lot of people would recommend moving your bristles this way. I move my bristles that way because I tend to notice that I have some paint that's caked in the middle of the brush. So I'm just looking to see how bad it is for the process of me brushing through. So slowly just put your comb in there and wiggle your way out to get that excess out of the brush. The towel will be used to get the remaining old pieces off. See, look at that. Look at how gross that is. So I'm speeding up the video just so I can get through those remaining brushes. If anything, you can just go ahead and enjoy the process. I know it's a long one cleaning these brushes, but you know what? Sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I am one of those people. It just never works. So just embrace the process of, you know, this cleaning day, cleansing of the soul, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so now that that is all set aside and done and we combed out our brushes, get your pink soap that I showed you earlier, and you want to get like a bucket of clean water. But like I said, if you're doing this over a sink, you don't have to worry about the bucket, but you do need to worry about that pink soap. You will need that. So you're going to want to wet your brushes, put the soap of course in the palm of the hand like I said, and just continue to swirl it around. I will swirl it in the palm of my hand, but I'll also try to make sure I can squeeze some of that soap into the middle of the bristles and on the sides of the bristles as well too, just to see if I can just get out all of that remaining paint, because it is liquefied at this point, so it's back to being wet and it's not dried and caked up. So just do everything you can to try to work all that dried or liquefied, I guess, since I just said that, liquefied paint out of those bristles so you don't have a hard, stiff brush. The longer you take with this process, the better off the result will be. So just take your time and actually make sure you can get it out. Or you can just, of course, buy more brushes. But if you're trying to save a buck and a penny, you know what I'm talking about, then take your time with this and actually make sure you get all of that dried, icky, or liquefied, icky paint out. I keep forgetting that it's not dried up anymore. Why do I keep saying dried? Why? Sometimes I just can't like fix the process. Sometimes it just is what it is, and it is gonna be how it's gonna be. So just bear with me. I hope you're finding some humor in all of this anyway. I hope so, because I know I do. So anyway, so go ahead, put it back in the water, separate them all out. I actually will go up a little bit on the handles as well too, because even though you did not put that much of the cleaning solution in there, it does kind of get on the handles a little bit, and it does make it a little bit gunky. So I will of course try to move it upwards on the handle as well too, after it is a little bit gunky in the bristles and on the ferrule. So that's just what I do, but you know, you do you, boo, whatever works for you. I'm just here to guide y'all on along to getting your own process up. So after you clean your brushes thoroughly one more time, after you clean them with the soap, you're just gonna squeeze out the excess water and lay them down flat on a towel. If you notice how my brushes were looking, they are misshapen. So the next process of what we're gonna do is shape our brushes again to help them get that, or closer to that shape that they used to have before. So this is from Speedball. It is their brush shaper. Now they used to have a picture of Mona Lisa underneath the text. I don't know why they got rid of that, and maybe it was like copyright infringement or something like that, but I have used it multiple times and it's great. So you're gonna wanna take your brush and dip it in the solution. So it actually does work, believe it or not, but this solution is really liquidy. I don't know why it's so liquidy, but I'm gonna show you how I use this product to reshape my brushes. So it's really good to just get the shape back for your brushes, but this product is great for preserving the lifespan of your brushes as well too. So you're gonna want to just pick any brush out of your pile and dip it in the solution and just get off the excess material by putting it on the rim of the jar. That's just my method of how I do it, just to make sure I don't have too much on it, because you will want to let this dry fully before you wash out the material. Yes, you will have to wash it out. I don't know why you'll have to wash out. I think it makes it just really hard, if anything, if you don't. But you will have to wash it all out when everything is all said and done. So just use a light amount. Don't just have too much running off of the bristles or anything like that. Just use what you need and get the shape of the brush back. Now, with the video, you see I have some brushes that are really, really bad. I mean, it's probably at the point where I probably should throw it away, but I'm stubborn and I'm not gonna throw it away, because sometimes I might abuse the brush while I'm painting, and these are the ones I'm going to use when I have more of an aggressive stroke, I guess, if you want to call it that. So what I will continue on to do after I put them on, I see how I'm doing it? I'm pinching the end of the brush a little bit just to get the shape. Now some of course the product is going to squeeze out, and that's okay, but if anything, we just want to get like the shape back a little bit of our brushes so it doesn't look like a weird like palm tree pineapple thing going on at the top. So some are a little bit harder than others, like I did mention before, but we're gonna get the shape back of our brushes as best we can, and it, for the most part, it does work. So I am genuinely happy with this product. It's always worked for me. I've never really had any issues with it, but I think it's great for conditioning the brush and just getting that shape how it's supposed to be back to almost where it was when we bought it. So after that material has dried fully, then we'll go ahead and wash it all out. Okay, so I washed out the solution out of the brushes, and this is the end result. I think for the most part, it looks pretty close to new, not 100% new, but you just let me know what you think. Does it look pretty good, like for holding its shape? I think it's done its job, but it's a great product. This speedball product, brush shaper, it's amazing. So, just go ahead, buy your own and try it for yourself, and comment below to let me know how it worked for you. If these tips worked wonderfully for you, if you have your own tips that I didn't know about, comment it below. Let me know, and also let me know what you think I should do for my next video coming up for the month of April. Or if it's not even the month and you're watching this even later, just comment your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. How's the weather where you live? What's going on in your life? What products are you testing out? Let me know, and thanks so much for watching my video. I greatly appreciate every single second, hour, minute that you guys have watched it. See you next time.